Impermanence. What is impermanence? If we don't know what is impermanence, then we're going to have a difficult journey in life. Impermanence is the opposite of permanent. Permanent means something that never changes. It is eternal. It is never created nor ever destroyed. Sounds like the soul to me. Next, take the concept of impermanence. Everything external is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. It comes and goes. Our lives are coming and going by the tides of life. We think we can't control the tides. We try as much as we can to hold on to dear life. Every moment we are like leaves blowing in the wind. The wise men of old understood that one must live in the center of the hurricane. In the center are absolute calm, bliss, and love. For many years, man has lived in the whirly winds of the mind. When I was in India many years ago, they said the most difficult thing to do in the universe is to be in control of your mind. Both the yogic tradition, the Jains, and the Buddhists all have impermanence at the foundation of the practice. They use the practice of contemplation of permanence to understand the meaning of overcoming the obstacles in the video game of life. It seems there are rules to the video game. Humanity never learns them. We wonder why we experience suffering in our life. A wise man understands that everything comes and goes externally in our life. Nobody gets a free ride. Imagine this scenario. A wise man and an ordinary man are given the same event externally. One will go into a tizzy. He will suffer a lot. The other person will simply laugh at life. He understands everything, morphs and changes. Nothing is constant except for your soul. The wise man experiences his soul in every moment. When a difficult situation arises, he understands that externally everything is impermanent. This is not a concept for him. Mind you, he went through the same identical situations many times before in his life. He stumbled and fell many times, yet he did not give up. Over time, he learned to control his mind. He identified with his soul and became one with it. Nobody gets a free ride in life. Life is like a video game. In this video game, there are many different levels. One will never clap his hands and say, I have mastered all. I've been meditating for over 50 years. I'm still fine-tuning the guitar of life. I still have my afflictions, yet I also see a way out. Many moons ago, I didn't understand the importance of contemplating impermanence. It was only last year that I took the Buddhist course. I understood the concept and began to contemplate it. All problems are because when things don't go our way, we suffer and experience pain. When one understands this concept daily in one's life, one begins to learn to discover the joy within. Even when one discovers the joy within, one must be conscious of every moment. It seems to me that contemplating upon impermanence rewires the circuits of the brain. Over time, one begins to see when an event occurs that one does not react, as the subconscious mind will eventually bring back that state that everything morphs and changes. In this state, one has the opportunity to be in tune with his soul. Meditation is not only when one sits down. Meditation should be 24 hours a day. Yet one could meditate for eternity, and if they don't understand the art and contemplation of impermanence, they still will be having afflictions in their life. It seems that the mind needs to understand that everything external is impermanent. At the same time, one must be in a state of being in harmony with your soul. By combining these, one can go beyond the states of affliction. In this state, one experiences constant bliss, compassion, and love. This is our true nature. The Jains have been practicing the art of contemplation upon impermanence for thousands of years. There have been many roadmaps developed by those who learn how to master themselves. These roadmaps are built into the scriptures. There are many different kinds of roadmaps that can inspire you to reach your goal. If you suffer and experience pain in your life, that's a good thing. Why do I say that? Well, for one, there will always be a day when you will say to yourself, enough is enough. I want to find a solution where I don't have to experience pain and suffering anymore. This is the start of the video game of life. To contemplate impermanence is the key to opening the door within. We have been living externally our entire life. No, is our life external senses, is our 5 external senses. We were never taught that we have 5 internal senses. These 5 senses are the gateways and doors to our precious souls. The great scriptures of old can be like a roadmap to understand the 5 mechanics of going from darkness to light. We can all inspire one another. We can't change the world for the better. Currently, Matt is sawing off the branch that he's sitting on, and he doesn't think anything about it. He is oblivious to his surroundings and what he is doing.
The ray of happiness. A quality or state of being happy, good fortune, pleasure, contentment, joy. In our Constitution, it says that we have the right to pursue happiness. Each and every one of us desires to be happy. We spend our entire life pursuing it. Happiness is like a rainbow in the sky. You can see the rainbow touching the ground, but as you get near the rainbow, it moves. Happiness is quite like that. It is always within our grasp. At times we can even hold it, but then it will disappear. We search for happiness everywhere. For some, I'll be happy when I'm out of middle school. I'll be happy when I graduate from high school. I'll be happy when I graduate from college. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I have kids. I'll be happy when I have a new boss. I'll be happy when I go on vacation. I'll be happy when I retire. We are always looking for happiness. We want that some external event will make us happy for the rest of our lives. We search for it and never quite find the Cinderella type happiness. The prince who we married ended up being someone who is imperfect, just like us. So where do we find happiness? Can we truly be happy and be involved with this world? Does true happiness exist? Is happiness a state of mind? If I become rich, will I truly be happy? Everyone equates happiness with money. You know, a lot of people who win the lottery spend all their money and lose it around 5 years. If you don't have money and a big sum is given to you without proper financial planning, you can lose it. For thousands of years, the great teachers have said that true happiness lies within. It does not exist in this world. Imagine at the time of your death, everything you own will be taken away. You can't bring any material possessions with you. Happiness is truly a state of mind. I've been to third world countries where the average poor person is selling something on the street. Yes, his entire family with him. Happiness is written all over his face. I've seen people who are super rich and their lives are miserable. Happiness truly comes from within. There is an internal well where one can drink and be filled with such happiness and joy. It is our true essence. Meditation brings us into that realm. Meditation is the key that unlocks the doors within. Imagine your true nature is infinite happiness, yet we spend our entire days aspire lives looking in the wrong places. It is inside us all the time. At times, I see the majority of us are looking in the wrong place. We just need to redirect our attention within. From that well within, we can tap into the source and bring that happiness to the surface. Over time, it will start to fill up your life, both externally and internally. You will see for yourself that happiness exists everywhere, but do we have the eyes to see? It's only by refining ourselves over time do we see the beauty of life. In this state, we don't strive, if only I had this, if only I had that. Every moment you're drinking the nectar within. I'm not saying as soon as you start to meditate that all your problems will go away. This life is a journey. Each and every day, we take one step after another. Over time, by being aware and being self-empowered, we truly become happy. We realize that happiness is truly a state of mind. Nobody can take it away. As long as we strive to reach happiness externally, it will come and go. It's like the mirage that we see in the desert when you are thirsty. You see the image and you're happy because there is water. Yet when you walk up to it, it disappears. Many people may say, I'm happy, I don't need to go within and find it. That's great. We are saying something a little different. We are saying that the entire universe is comprised of happiness. By being aware of the force behind all life, you will become happy. You don't have to depend on some external event to trigger happiness. Your existence is happiness. By discovering your true nature, you will be happy. The ray of non-attachment. We come into this world empty-handed, and we leave this world empty-handed. The ray of non-attachment helps us not to get frustrated by life's events and our own personal attachments. During the course of our life, we become attached to our car, our house, our job, our riches. Whatever our mind is attached to, when this thing gets taken away from us, it causes suffering. Everything in life is an impermanent. Nothing external is changeless. Everything created ultimately goes back to the source. Many of our sufferings are holding onto an idea or concept or object, and when something goes not according to plan, we hold on. We then become disappointed or sad that things in life don't go according to plan. The ray of non-attachment allows us to have life live freely without being tied down by our own attachments. Through the law of silence, we enter into a state of awareness that is, was, and will always be. Over time, one by one, our attachments start dissolving one by one. It's much like a sugar cube being dissolved by water. All the great books of the past have taught us about the importance of being non-attached in one's life. Yet what kind of training have we gone through to help us become non-attached? Once again, if we conquer our mind, we have conquered the world. Meditation and contemplation is the means to slowly melt into the source of all life. Over time, this awareness begins to infiltrate into our daily lives. We are more carefree and relaxed. We can accomplish more than others because the mind is sharp as a laser. When we are attracted to people, places, and things, our mind is hopping from one thing to another. We are restless. We are at unease. Our mind wanders. We have difficulty to control our mind and thoughts. The wise person spends their life solving this mystery and actively begins to take the course of actions to enhance one's life. This ray of non-attachment is applicable not only to our world, but to our inner world. We can hold on to our experience. It's like holding on to sand in your hand. It will slowly slip away. All our disappointments and sufferings are mostly from our attachments to life. Our mind thinks that by attaching itself to something, it will become happy. Yet this is never the case. The foundation of Buddhism clearly talks in fine detail in more precise ways what happens when we become detached. They're much more eloquent than I am. These are plenty of incredible books talking about the destructive nature of being attached. By being aware of this ray and entering into the silence, we begin to train ourselves not to become attached. When we do, and we do suffer, we can remind ourselves that everything in life is impermanent. We can, day by day, train ourselves to see what is changeless, boundless, and never dies. This is our true nature. The source lies within. By connecting to your true nature every day and over time, moment by moment, you will see and comprehend these words. It is a state of awareness that comes from within, and they become a reality in your everyday life. Okay, of course, it takes time. This is a maturing process. But by being aware and focused on your inner nature, you will grow day by day. You have infinite potential. By being non-attached doesn't mean that you can't truly enjoy this life. As a matter of fact, you will enjoy this life to the fullest because you will be vibrating with life itself. Your mind, body, and emotions will be in tune and in harmony of who you truly are. You will truly become free. Of course, you will still have off days. You will still have lessons to learn. I have not mastered myself, but even in my present state, I rejoice in being alive. Life is a grand adventure, and I'm happy learning and growing. I'm so grateful to be aware and conscious that these gifts lay inside of my being. There are years for the asking. This life we live is a great series of lessons where we can learn to master. Life is the highest education. There's so much to learn. We can't even hold on to our spiritual experience. If we do, we will be disappointed. Life teaches us to hold on to your divine essence. If you hold on to anything else, you will become disappointed. Once we truly begin to understand that concept, we can start to implement the process of self-discovery. With our maturity growing, our understanding of this ray begins to grow more and more. We then can take off our painted glasses and see the world as a reflection of ourselves. It's amazing that our concepts and our attachments to this world is the source of our problems. Once you see the world with a new vision and you train your mind, your life becomes happier. I really don't understand why we don't teach these basic laws in our schools. Our nation and the world at large would be such a better place. It seems like so much attention is put on what we do instead of who we truly are. All the latest technologies don't bring us any more happiness than what we had before, yet we want more and more. We think as a nation, as a whole, that material things will bring us joy. Last night, I saw a survey that only 12% of the people in this country enjoy their job. Something is wrong with our state of being. We need a new way. It's been there all the time. We have never been taught that common sense is uncommon. We think we have it all together. Yet the lies that are dictated by advertising and the media will never bring true happiness and joy. These ads for a new car will never give you true happiness. Your new car someday will be towed to the dump. Then, where will your happiness be? We need to look beyond the superficiality of our existence. You are truly divine. Your essence is boundless and changeless. Our present-day scientists know this, yet we can continue to live in a state of denial. This is not about becoming a monk or a priest. We are talking about discovering your true nature. In doing so, you will become free. Your life will be absolutely incredible. No words can describe it. This is your true nature. Through the law of non-attachment, you will become free. This is your true state. You are the bird in the cage. Open the door inside and become free again. Remember, only you have the piece of the puzzle. The world will be in a better place when you realize this. We are building sandcastles in the sky, yet we think that it is permanent. One day, the ocean of life will dissolve your precious sandcastle. What is the foundation that you are standing on? Is it a rock? Is it made of rock or of sand? Your happiness depends upon it. The Four Noble Laws, Truth. These Four Noble Laws are known to Buddhism as the Four Noble Truths. They are the foundation for all Buddhist traditions. Yet in my eyes, in the eyes of many who seek to discover these laws are universal. The Buddha was probably the greatest psychologist on earth. He probably knew more the nature of the mind than anyone else. Since then, thousands of beings have taken this sacred knowledge and applied it to their daily lives. The Buddha declared that there was a way out of these crazy patterns that we create in our daily life. There is a way to overcome all the obstacles of the mind and to be in a place that is timeless, endless, beyond space and time, a state called enlightenment. I'm not a Buddhist. I don't belong to any Buddhist organizations, but I truly believe that these Four Noble Laws are truths. The more I meditate, the more my understanding grows, and I realize that suffering gets more refined the deeper I go. It's like that analogy of peeling the various levels of the onion. The first layers are easy, but as you go deeper and deeper, you realize that suffering exists at a very deep level in our mind. The mind is like a grain of sand in an oyster. It constantly has some sort of irritation. The goal is turning the grain of sand into a pearl. This is what Buddha discovered. He discovered a practical path to overcoming all suffering. This path is not morbid. Many people think that this path is a path of suffering. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It is a path of love, happiness, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, patience, and tolerance. It's a way to discover your true nature. We are all Buddhas. We just don't realize it. The goal is to realize who you truly are while you are alive. This will make the world a better place, not only for you, but for all around you. 1. First law, the nature of suffering. The first law states that human nature is not perfect, nor the world around us is not perfect. So consequently, during our lifetime, we will suffer. We will endure physical suffering such as pain, sickness, injury, fear, frustration, depression, and disappointment. Everything in life outside of us is impermanent, so we can never attain true happiness fixated in the world. We try to hold on to happiness, yet it slips away. Law number 2. Origin of suffering is attachment. Because our mind thinks that happiness exists in the world, we become attached to the world at large. We strive for happiness in things that aren't perfect in nature. Because we think that happiness exists in the world, our mind is conditioned to always look outward and never within. So over time, our mind becomes conditioned and we forget our true nature. By doing so, we forget who we are, and therefore, suffering takes place. Law number 3. The cessation of suffering is attainable. For thousands of years, the ancient ones have proclaimed that there is a way to end suffering. They have taught that by discovering who you truly are is the way. You are already enlightened, you just don't know it. Law number 4. The path leading to the cessation of suffering. The way to discover your true nature is the path one takes by right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This path has been followed by all the great masters and teachers around the world. All these laws work in complete harmony with one another. The more a person is in tune with these laws and applies them in their daily life, the more their understanding and wisdom will grow. These laws are universal. They are beyond religion and dogma. By applying these laws, you'll begin to enrich your life. No matter what your religion is, the foundation is the same. All religion is based upon proving your nature and to help and assist you to become a better person and to ultimately help you to understand your true nature. It is priceless. Every one of us is custom built. We are also unique, yet our essence is the same. In my eyes, the modern day scientists and the mystics of old are helping us to discover our true nature. There is a path leading to the cessation of suffering. This is what the Buddha taught and all the great masters have taught. The puzzle exists inside of you. This is where the journey starts. It's the most incredible journey you will ever take. It's the journey of discovering your true nature. It's the most exciting thing you can do because your essence is the journey. You are endless, boundless, beyond time and space. You are these sacred laws. This is your true nature. You, at your deepest levels, are kind and full of love. You, at your deepest levels, are full of patience and compassion. This is your true nature. This path will help you to become a more precious human being. It will bring out the best in you. Yes, it requires work, but in my eyes, it's play. How incredible it is to daily learn how to bring out the best side of ourselves in all circumstances. It's like a game. At first, it's real hard just to play, but as time goes on, the game gets easier, but also more challenging. I'm sure many of you have played video games and see that each level, the game becomes more difficult and challenging, but that's what makes it fun. The game of life is probably the most challenging game you will ever play. At times, we don't even know the rules or how to play the game. We just get thrown into life without any kind of proper preparation. The great teachers of old have taught these precious laws to help you in this game of life. It's incredible. Everyone knows the theory of gravity. An apple will fall off the tree. Yet the inner laws we weren't taught. By knowing these laws and applying these laws, over time, our life becomes incredible. We see the potential of this life and see how our life is turning out. Life becomes more exciting and we understand and grow in wisdom. We learn to become co-creators and not reactive beings like leaves blown in the wind. This life becomes sacred. This path is not saying to drop life, but to embrace it. You don't have to become a monk or drop out of society. In fact, the more you walk on this path, every moment will help you to bring these divine qualities into your everyday life. This is what it's all about. To change the world, you must change yourself. Practical actions. Read some books on the Four Noble Truths. See book lists. Meditate daily. Daily pull out your negative weeds. Cultivate these divine laws more and more into your daily life. Realize that many others have walked upon this path and left advice and guidance along the way. Read the great books of life. They are all talking about the same thing. Learn how to be a co-creator in life instead of a reactive being. This one cause of human suffering. Learn how to tame your mind. Educate yourself. Read books or attend seminars or retreat. You don't have to be like the Buddha who left his kingdom. You don't have to be like the Christ. You can still live your own life. Yet all life is asking you to look within and see your true nature. You are indeed good.